Hello everyone, today we're going to be taking a look at the most popular microphone of all time, the one and only Shure SM57. Now if you've watched this channel before and you know anything about audio, this was going to happen. It was just a matter of when, and when is today. So without further ado, let us talk about this beautiful legendary mic. So first of all, let's talk about the build quality, because after which I'm gonna have to set the microphone in place. So as you can see, the microphone is built completely out of metal. It has this really nice, somewhat reflective matte finish to it. On the top of the microphone, you can see the grill and this little plastic bit that moves for some reason. On the bottom, there's the XLR port, and the microphone has no switches, no pads. It's the most bare dynamic microphone you can probably ever see. I mean, even the SM58 has like a grill you can take off. This thing is just, that's it. That's all you get. And the build quality is, I'm gonna say it, and 100 million people said this before, it's built like a tank. This thing is built incredibly well. It's going to probably outlive you. You can't dent, you can't break this thing if you tried. I can most definitely use this as a self-defense weapon, and I said this a lot because, I mean, look at it. It's rugged, it's wonderful, and that is one of the biggest pros of this microphone. It's the fact that it's built like a tank beautifully. When you decide to buy this microphone brand new, you also get a pouch, which you don't have, but I'll put a photo of it on the screen. And you also get this really nicely made plastic mount that looks kind of cool and also really firmly holds the microphone, so it's really well quality. Now you also get the option to buy the Shure A2WS, which is this $15 piece of metal that's practically a windshield, but a lot of people said that when you use it specifically, you're going to get a sound that's somewhat closer to the 7B, just because the foam housing creates a sort of isolation that's a little bit relative to that of the 7B. That said, let's go ahead and plug this microphone to test out the sound quality and other features. And now you're listening to the sound of the Shure SM57. The sound is fairly warm, but there's still a bunch of details up top. The S's are a little bit sharp, which is why I noticed that there's always applied a lot of de-essers when using this microphone for live performances. Now this microphone is made more for instruments. As far as I'm concerned, it uses the same capsule as the SM58, so they're practically almost the same microphone, but the SM58 has two more layers, which is the dual mesh grill and also the foam inside, and those things color the microphone to be a bit darker than this one. So now in return, you get this high detail dynamic microphone that sounds mostly warm, perfectly full sound, as in this microphone goes from 50 Hz to 15 kHz. It's not a 20 to 20 kHz type situation, which is perfectly fine. It's a way to reduce rumbles, and there's rarely any times where you're going to record something that is lower than 50 Hz with this mic that you might need for, maybe except some like kick drums or something. I don't know enough about this stuff, but what I do know is that for vocals, this microphone is pretty excellent. Now, because it's a dynamic microphone, that means that moving away from the capsule at all is going to be pretty detrimental to the sound. It's gonna disappear out and in, which means if you decide to use this microphone for video recording or streaming, keep that in mind. You're gonna have to face the microphone at all times. When it comes to the frequency response of the microphone, it's supposed to be mostly flat up until the high mids treble, where you get a little boost in there, and you can see that boost in here. The S's, the T's, they're quite detailed, although I've said this before, I find them a little artificial, which I think is because of the transformers inside that are used to lower the gain need for this mic, because this microphone is not actually that forgiving when it comes to gain. People usually talk about the 7B, but this microphone needs around 51 to 52 decibels, which does mean that it's like 200% louder than the 7B almost. It still needs a bunch of gain. Now, it's not enough to introduce much noise, but it's enough to where it's worth mentioning. Also keeping in mind that this microphone does not have a grill, which means that it is going to be fairly sensitive to pops, smooth pops. This is where this comes in, which we're going to try in a second, which by the way doesn't like directly fit on the microphone. You have to kind of screw it in. Odd choice, but sure, get it, haha. Anyway, why is the Shure SM57 and 58 the most popular microphones of all time? Well, we talked about the build quality. The build quality on this microphone is absolutely next to none. It's incredible, and you can't say enough good things about it. The sound quality is quite nice too. You get this somewhat warm sound that you can EQ the heck out of. It is very reliable, and it's also very industry standard, which means you've heard it many times before, and a lot of studio engineers are probably a bit used to EQing this microphone by now and used to knowing what sort of frequencies are exaggerated and which ones need to be boosted and so forth. You also get just enough detail. The character of your voice is going to be there no matter how high-pitched or low-pitched your voice is, without much exaggeration. So I find it to be quite good. I find it to be very reasonable, and also the background rejection on it is quite nice as well. Now, a lot of people like to compare this microphone microphone to the SM7B, namely one guy, Mr. Audio Haze, has been glazing this microphone for a few years. And hey, I love this microphone too, man. I love this thing. This thing sounds awesome. My God. Personally, I just can't say that this microphone can sound very close to the 7B with a bunch of EQ settings. You can do a bunch of EQ onto these microphones and make them sound really, really good, but can you truly achieve SM7B sounds with this? That's a little up to debate. However, this thing might help a lot because it recreates a lot of what makes the SM7B sound what it is. It doesn't recreate the same capsule or capsule size or the tuning that they got, but it changes some physical features. So let's go ahead and test the Shure A2WS out. Okay, quick update. I couldn't screw it in properly, so I'm just going to be placing it on the microphone, so I apologize about that. And now, as you can see, I have the Shure A2WS, and I cannot tell you how much more pleasant this sounds. I enjoy this a lot more. I mean, Shure surely knew what they were doing. God, I love those puns. But seriously, besides the fact that for pops, it's a lot more reasonable. It also makes the sound a little bit, well, I'm not going to say darker, but the top end on the microphone is a lot more reasonable. The S's are tuned pretty well now. I think they require less de-essing. Now, does that mean that you get even less detail than before? Kind of, not by a lot, but I would say that. Now, does this magically turn this into a Shure SM7B? No, but it definitely helps, like, quite a bit. So I'm going to be reading a quick passage with this both on and off just to test it out. I am very insecure about the fact that I like pineapple on pizza. I am very insecure about the fact that I like pineapple on pizza. I think that it sounds a lot better with this on. So even though 15 bucks, I mean, it's not the most unreasonable thing, but I don't know, I mean, it's a piece of foam with a little bit of metal. But again, if you want to make that argument, then this is a piece of metal as well. So if I was buying this brand new, I would buy the Shure A2WS, or what I used to do before I could buy one of these is that I would simply get a 50-cent microphone foam, and then I would just put like an elastic band around it, around the microphone bit, and it would have a very similar result, although it would look a little bit funny. Very funny. But I mean, if it saves you 15 bucks. This all said, that's going to be my review of the Shure SM57. I'll have some links in the description if you decide to buy this microphone. I love this microphone. I can't recommend it enough. It sounds awesome. It's got good detail. It's got enough warmth. It is not sharp, and it's built like a tank, and it looks beautiful. I don't know how to explain it to you. I mean, this is like objective. It just looks cool. It looks awesome. Like, I feel professional singing into this, and I think it does my voice justice in terms of like, this is kind of what the character of my voice sounds like in real life, and to also get a bunch of detail relative to the fact that it's a dynamic microphone. Anyway, if you like this video, please like it, and if you'd like to subscribe, it's going to mean the world to me. Please take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.